So, hi Professor, good morning first of all, and today we're going to cover some topics from economics, our book, and that's going to be our today's topic, like some of the topics. So, the very first thing I want to start is with what not is economics. Economics is not something to know how to get rich or how to control your money or how to invest in stocks. It's about choices. The choices you make will affect our economy. From the point you're born to the point you're no more, every person performs economy, willingly or unwillingly, because everybody has to make choices. Here comes to the next topic, why? Okay, so let me first give you a definition for economics. Economics is a social science that deals with human, men and women, of course, how they're getting their money, how they're saving their money, and how they're spending their money. That is, it's not how to, it's how they're getting their money, right? And why it's called social science? Because social, it deals with humans, men and women, we're social beings. And science, because it has pure facts. So we were going to choices. Why we have to make choices? We have to make choices because of wants. Human wants are unlimited. You can see billionaires, you can see the top is rich, they still want something. You can go and ask them, do you want something? Yes, of course. Even if it's food, you always want something. So human wants are unlimited, but the point here is the resources, either it be food resources, either it be the soldiers, either it be the human itself, we are also limited, right? We can't just say we're gonna be increasing our population. Till when? It's not possible, right? Even if we increase our population, then it's of course we're gonna have limited resources. So we have to make choices because human wants are unlimited and resources are limited. This is the only reason that we have to make choices. Choices. I made a choice today. My professor gave me a choice to either give a question paper in front of her or just record a video. I'm recording a video. I made this choice. This is somehow gonna be delivering things to economy. It's gonna be on like bigger scale. I'm not gonna go into that. But choices is what I'm talking about. Now, if I choose this, right? I made a choice. What happened to the other product or other thing that you had ignored because you choose this? That's called your opportunity cost, right? If I choose to speak here, my opportunity cost to speak in front of this camera is not giving test there, right? Opportunity cost, it's just explaining itself. I got this opportunity. What is the cost for this? What I paid for this? I didn't pay nothing, but what I paid, I didn't paid. I mean, I'm not able to give or see my teacher there. That's the cost I paid, right? Or you can say if I have 3 apples, and if A has 3 apples and if B have like 5 apples, or you can say if he has 3 chocolates and I want 1 chocolate, I am willing to give him 2 chocolates, 2 apples for first, right? As soon as I get 1 chocolate, I won't be giving him my 1 apple, right? Because it's the last apple I have. And that's the other aspect of economy, that is marginal utility. We'll go into that. But for the chocolate I got, what I gave him 2 apples, right? So my opportunity cost for that 1 chocolate is 2 apples. So what we have covered till now is what is economics. Economics is a social science which study human behavior, that is men and women, on how they get their money, how they save their money, and how they expend their money. Then we had about choices. Why we have to make choices? Because human wants are unlimited, and resources in whole world economy is, I'm not talking about just particular of Canada, I'm talking about all over the world. In this thing, human wants are unlimited and resources are limited. Okay, then we have talked about opportunity cost. What exactly opportunity cost is? The cost of next best alternative, right? The cost of next best alternative. I'm not taking interior designing, but I've taken business. So what is the opportunity cost for business? The course I'm taking interior designing, because I just ignored it because I wanted to take business, right? So the cost of next best alternative. So now that was our introduction. Now let's move on to demand, the most important. Demand. What is demand? Demand. I demand something, demand. There are two types of demand: market demand or just individual demand. Individual demands we see as my demand, what I want. And in a market, like if you make a graph of my demand, it's just going to be my demand. And if we're going to combine 4 people, 3 people, or whole market's demand, we can't obviously include whole market's demand, but we can obviously compare, on a macro basis. It's going to be a macroeconomics. So it's going to be a market demand. There are 2 types of demand: individual demand or market demand. But what are demand actually? So there comes the main topic: quantity demanded and change in demand. No, not quantity demanded, actually. So yeah, there are 2 types of change in demand. One is quantity change and other is change in demand, right? What is quantity change and what is just change in demand? Quantity demanded change is a change which change due to the price of the product. When the price of the product changes, the quantity demanded will change. When price of the product is same and other factors of demand that are affecting demand are changed, then demand's gonna change. Get it? Quantity demand will change when the price of the product will change and no other factor is going to change. And demand of the product will change when prices be the same but all other factors will be changed, right? Quantity demanded, like the change in quantity demanded due to price, it happens due to either increase in price or decrease in price, and it causes contraction and expansion. It do not cause move in demand. And change in demand is due to fixed price but change in other factors. What are the other factors? Either increase in demand, increase in price, either increase in income of the consumer, either decrease in, either change in, either you can say either change in income of the consumer, you can say change in price of substitute goods, change in price of you can say relatable goods, right? So it causes movement of demand curve. Quantity demanded cause movement along the curve. Along the curve means on the curve itself, not moving the curve. And demand change means the curve is shifting either front or backward. So it causes movement of demand curve backward or in front. So now there are three main questions that arises when we see a demand curve or when we study this demand. First, why this demand curve slopes downward, or you can say why is people are willing to pay less when they consume more, right? Or I'm not able to remember the third one. Okay, why demand curve slopes downwards is because of inverse relationship of price and quantity demand, right? If price is gonna go up, the quantity demand is gonna go down. If price is gonna go down, quantity demand will go up because of inverse relationship. So there are three factors why this happens. First, just listen to me carefully now. First, law of diminishing marginal utility. We all know what is marginal utility, but why the demand curve slopes downwards is because of law of diminishing marginal utility, right? Law of diminishing marginal utility states that as consumer consume more of a product, he is willing to pay less for that product. I'm eating apples and apples and apples at 50, 40, but now I'm not going to be giving 50 for the 10th apple I'm consuming. I'm just going to be like, I've had more. I can just get it for like $8 or something. I'm not going to give you $50. So, law of diminishing marginal utility means as a consumer consume more, he is willing to pay less. That is, as quantity demand increases, price decreases. So, inverse relationship. Second is alternative goods, substitute goods. Price of substitute goods. Second is price of substitute goods. Price of increase in price of one good results in increase in demand for other good. You hear me? Increase in price of other good do not cause increase in price of that particular good, rather increase in price of other good. I'm eating Parle-G, right? And you are eating crackers, let's say crackers. They increase the price of the crackers. You're gonna think it's not worthy to pay this much for crackers, so let's shift towards Parle-G. So increase in price of your product results in increase in price of my product, increase in demand in my income effect. And what is income effect means, if I'm earning $14 per hour and there is a pen that costs $5, right? But the price of the pen increases to $10 and I'm still earning $14, so I won't be able to buy that. So income effect states that increase in price of a product results in decrease in purchasing power, the real purchasing power of consumer, right? So what happens? Increase in price causes decrease in demand. Here we again states the inverse relationship. So we have covered till now. Law of diminishing marginal utility, income effect, substitute effect, and these are the reasons why demand curve is downwards, sloping downwards. What is income effect means, if I'm earning $14 per hour and there is a pen that costs $5, right? But the price of the pen increases to $10 and I'm still earning $14, so I won't be able to buy that. So income effect states that increase in price of a product results in decrease in purchasing power, the real purchasing power of consumer, right? So what happens? Increase in price causes decrease in demand. Here we again states the inverse relationship. So we have covered till now. We have covered till now law of diminishing marginal utility, income effect, substitute effect, and these are the reasons why demand curve is downwards, sloping downwards. So let's talk about market. There are 4 types of market: oligopoly, monopolistic, monopoly, and perfect competition. So let's talk about perfect competition first. In perfect competitions, there are huge number of buyers and sellers, and they have freedom of entry and exit. So because of freedom and entry of exit, the abnormal losses and abnormal profits are wiped out. Let me explain how. First of all, perfect competition market, all the products are same. There is 0 degree of product differentiation in this market. And I said there is free entry and exit, right? You can enter the market anytime and you can just leave the market anytime. Attracted by abnormal profits, number of manufacturers enter the market, which causes increase in supply. Now increase in supplies causes decrease in price, so it causes loss. Due to loss, they leave the market. So the cycle of profit and loss and entering and leaving the market continues in perfect competition. The other characteristics of this competition is the products are homogeneous. The buyers and the sellers have no control on price because there are huge number of buyers and sellers in the market, that even if 2 or 3 sellers increase or decrease the price, it does not affect the graph. It's gonna stay same like this, straight line, because the proportion will be so less that it can affect the curve, right? So this is perfect competition, where we can find a huge number of buyers and sellers with 0 control over the price and selling homogeneous product with 0 product differentiation, right? And its curves is straight line. Next come to monopoly. We all know what is monopoly, just one product all over the market and having 100% control over price and the factors of that price. For example, you can say travel that is train, TTC and all. TTC, you can say TTC, right? Here, so it is a monopoly by the government, and the government has 100% control over the price of the TTC. And the next is monopolistic. In monopolistic, the buyers, the producers have partial control over the price because they sell similar products, not same, similar products. You can differentiate among the products, but they're slightly similar. So due to that, they have a little partial control over the price because they can show their product more verified or something like that. So yeah, in monopolistic there are partial price control of producers over price, and they sell same kind of products, not same but kind of same. So the last term is oligopoly. Oligopoly is the market where there are huge number in oligopoly market there are less number of buyers but with huge market area, right? Like they have huge consumers, but there are 2 or 3 or maybe just less the people who make that thing, right? And why is that so? Maybe because the reasons why there are less producers of a certain products and huge market, maybe it requires huge investments. Like nobody can go up and open a telecom community, right? big towers and or maybe steel industries. It takes investment to even start a business. So that's why there are less producers and they cover huge portion of the market. So this is called oligopoly. Even if I want to go into the steel industry, even if I want to make steel industry, I'm free to go into the market. Like nobody's gonna stop me from opening a steel industry. But I don't have that much resources. I don't have that much of money to make steel industries, to make such big factories and all that, right? So this is a barrier for me. But there is no certain barriers by the government. The government gonna tell me, okay, you can just go ahead and make the curve, but I don't have money. So in oligopoly, we don't have a graph. This is the only market where we are not able to make a graph, right? Why? We all know to make a graph, we need a certain kind of relationship between price and demand. But in oligopoly, there is no stable relationship between price and demand. So there is demand curve.